I just don't buy it anymore. And another reason is I noticed for myself that I was getting headaches. And a couple things. One is I went to a raw food group many, many years ago and was eating eggs. I was getting headaches. And the person said to me, do you eat eggs? And I said, yeah. And they said, why don't you try getting off the eggs? Because the sulfur gives a lot of people headaches. And this was years ago, and I used to like to eat every once in a while, I like to eat an egg, you know. But then when I met with this guy 2 weeks ago, he said, which kind of grossed me out, he said, ew, it's the egg that a chicken menstruates with. You know, it's her menstruation egg. And I was like,
it's her ovulation egg.
Yeah, I was like, ew. You know, when you go conscious and you really think about, like, bees, you know, honey is them vomiting. That's what the honey is. They just regurgitate it back up and it's vomiting. That's what he told me. And I was like, okay. So when you start to think about this stuff, it's nasty, you know, when you think about it. And then I will send you these videos. Please, the 10-minute one, if you could bear through it and just watch it, it's worth it. Because it's a real eye-opener on, you know, Paul McCarthy and what he does, you know, what he shows. But I was telling you, so I would eat the eggs, and I got off of eggs, and I didn't have the headaches.
Could you correlate the headache directly with the egg?
Well, I'll tell you. It's weird because I didn't have it, and then I didn't have it for a long time, like a year, and then I thought I'm going to have an egg. I'm just going to try and have an egg. I'll experiment. Oh my God, I got so sick. Like I burped up sulfur for like 24, 48. It was disgusting. I cannot tell you. It was just like belching this sulfur up, you know, egg, like a rotten egg thing in my system. And I just said, oh my God, I can't even digest it. And I thought, well, people said, well, try digestive enzymes, you know, or try this and then you can, or do it this way, you know, don't eat the yellow, eat the white, you know. And I thought, you know, I tried all that, you know, but I still, and I always say, that's why I teach these classes, because we do things and we don't think about it. Oh, because everybody eats eggs, so we'll eat an egg, you know, or everybody eats burgers, so let's just go eat a burger. But I tell people when I work with them, and I think it's a great thing to do, is to go vegan for a week. And everybody goes, well, what am I going to eat? You know, try going vegan for 7 days, not eating any animal products.
No milk products either.
Nothing.
No milk.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what you can eat. Okay, but try doing that for a week, and then every day introduce one thing. You know, have chicken. See how your body feels. Do you feel good after you eat it? Does it make you constipated? Do you get a headache? Do you feel nauseous? Is it too greasy? You're going to be really in touch with how food affects you by doing that. It's amazing. So people go, well, what am I going to eat? You know, if I go vegan for a week, what am I going to eat? Okay? There is so many, I'll start with beans. There's so many beans. You know, if Whole Foods opened a store in Wexford and they have this bulk section. And I went there and there was beans I never even heard of. I mean, just different kind of beans. And they're in the bulk section. They're not expensive. You can get a whole bag of them for $2, which is a couple meals. And you soak them and then you just cook them. You know, if you have a pressure cooker, it'll cook in, you know, 10 minutes. If you want to cook it for a couple hours, you know, it'll cook. And you can have beans, which are stabilize your blood pressure, they lower cholesterol, they're heart healthy, and they're protein.
And they give you gas.
Not if you cook them right.
Is that right?
Okay, so because at the moment I don't have my full kitchen that I used to have, so I buy, I don't know if anybody's heard of Eden, E-D-E-N. I think they carry it, I know they carry it in Whole Foods and the Co-op. I don't know if they carry it, I think they carry it in Giant Eagle possibly. But they have, it's a family business, they have a good company, they have a good line of food, they have pastas, they have all kinds of things. But they have beans in a can, and it's BPA-free cans, you know, and it's conscious cans, and they cook the beans with there's no salt in it. And they cook it with kelp. So kelp takes the gas away, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they
no,
I don't use it because I think it has dairy in it, but I don't use it. I've never tried any of that. And they say if you eat it a couple days, your body will get used to it. you know, so then you'll be able to digest it and process it. So maybe a day or two you stay inside and you're not around friends if you're eating the beans, and then you can go out after a couple days and, you know, and then, you know, whatever. But it's, you know, you should be able to digest those. It's no salt, it's cooked with kelp, it's eaten no salt. Or you can make them yourself. I will tell you, I have not been successful with black beans myself. And you want to make sure they're cooked, that they're not crunchy, because then you get stomach. It hurts your stomach if you try to eat them and they're not cooked. They need to be cooked. So black beans.
What do you do to make them flavorful without putting onion on them?
Well,
Onion.
I do all fresh herbs when I cook. So I buy rosemary fresh at the store. You could do basil. You could do thyme, is really good with beans. And I just buy them in the little packages. I rinse them off, I peel them off, I throw them in the beans, and I cook them in the beans. And you could do onion, garlic, you could do, you know, tomato, carrot, celery, you know, and then thyme. It's delicious.